we'll start quarterback. It's the glory position.
Right.
Let's be honest. Mine might be a little surprising to some people here. It's Joe Burrow, currently quarterback 4 in ADP. While I love Joe Burrow, I love his offensive weapons. I love everything about it. But here's why don't feel comfortable taking him at QB4. Right now, he's got that calf strain, so he's probably going to be out the preseason for sure. I would say they're going to rest him all of preseason, so he's not really going to get any live snaps going into the season. And granted, we saw that last year with the ACL coming back from that injury. Basically, it's the same thing. He did start off pretty slow the first couple weeks. Like, he was very rusty, took a little bit to get in the rhythm with his guys. Same thing could happen this year. And I get concerned with hamstring injuries because those, you can tweak those again right away. It doesn't matter how much did I say calf? I said calf. I didn't. I said hamstring. I thought about trying to play it off, but no, I'm not that good. Calf injury. Thank you, Jake, for making sure we are accurate on this podcast. Betcha. But this is something that could bother him all season long. While maybe it won't show up on the injury report necessarily, or maybe he won't be missing practice, this very well could be something that hinders him a little bit in his mobility all season long. So if he isn't comfortable running, and let's be honest, he's not much of a runner to begin with, he is a pocket passer. If it hinders his mobility even a little bit, just to be able to scooch out of the pocket and avoid those rushes coming in at him, the D linemen, DN, linebackers, the blitzes, well, it could make for a little bit of a rough season. And then also, on top of that, I would much rather take quarterbacks going after him that have more rushing upside than what he has. If I'm looking for pure I'm so excited I can't even talk. Pure
we all are.
Pure fantasy points. There's guys that I would much rather have ahead of him. And I'm pulling up ADP here. So like Lamar Jackson's going at 5. You heard me wax poetically about Justin Herbert last week. You'll probably hear me talk about him next week. Spoiler. I'd much rather take Justin Herbert, knowing what that offense is going to be. You got Justin Fields with that rushing upside. So there are guys that I would much rather have in his stead. And I think QB4 is just a little too rich for my blood. And I don't know that he could return that value.
As a fellow late quarterback guy, it's why I'm more interested in this anyways. And like you said, it's not because I don't like Joe Burrow. I very much do. And I probably am less cautious about his calf injury than you are, which could be foolish, certainly. But I think it's more because the people going immediately after him are just safer from that perspective. Anytime you can eliminate a big question mark from the position while also then waiting a couple of rounds to get that same person, like that's a win. So there are the guys that are going immediately after him that do feel safer, that you can get around maybe 2 rounds later than him. And that's why I'm in agreement in that I'm not going to draft Joe Burrow. I'm not necessarily in agreement that he's going to be a bust at his ADP, but it does feel like of anybody in the top 5 for ADP right now, he's probably the most likely candidate to fall outside of that because of it. So still love his weapons. Love Absolutely. Jamar Chase still. And I'm not even throwing a red flag up for Jamar Chase. Are you in concurrence here with Joe Burrow's injury?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. We'd have some talking to do if that was the case. I mean, it would just be through the screen like always. No brawls or anything. But yeah, I wonder with Joe Burrow, hopefully you're the same in Dynasty. I know we're talking redraft here, but in Dynasty, you're still good with them. No changes there.
Oh, yeah, no changes there. Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's all I really wanted to know. I just didn't want you to dash my Dynasty hopes in the one league that I have Joe Burrow in Dynasty. Josh saying, I'm fine with Burrow, but I'd rather wait and Grebe Herbert. Well, I don't know who Grebe Herbert is, Josh, but he sounds like somebody who can put up fantasy points for you. Audio only listeners, I'm just making fun of Josh for misspelling great. A simple typo, and I have to act like an asshole about it. I'm sorry. It's the rules.
It's what we do.
I would also rather have Herbert as well. So I agree.